Bill Henshaw has been your friendly local constitutional coop from California, and with some stunning news. Some of you may have seen it already with recent Trump executive orders, especially on March 25th and one just about a week or so ago. And what he's done has sounded exactly like me. He knows what the problems are with the de facto national socialist government. I believe Bondi does, and I know damn well that the current justices of the Supreme Court know. And it all goes back to Reconstruction and the War Amendments, as you will learn. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com, to get more information. You'll get a copy of this executive order and my brief analysis of it, exactly like me. And this is bargaining leverage up the wazoo when this happens, because we start taking this into people that have been giving you trouble, whether they're corporate landlords, mortgage banksters, traffic court, child procurement syndicate, you name it. None of them have any authority or jurisdiction over you. And behind the scenes, I suspect some of them know it. But after all, they're only dumbass state bar association attorneys, and they don't get educated at all like they should be. And you sure as hell didn't learn it, and neither did I all these decades ago when I was in school. The only thing I remember about President Johnson was they said, oh, it was our worst president. He got impeached. No, not Lyndon Baines Johnson, Andrew Johnson. If I had learned the reason back in 10th grade, my life would have been different earlier. Now I know, because he stood up and said to Congress, you can't do this, and to the New York banksters, you can't do this. You're amending the Constitution, and it doesn't work that way, and it never has. And what you're going to learn, and send me an email, you'll learn all about it. youwinnincourt@gmail.com. The 14th Amendment not only does not exist, it never has. It goes all the way back to 1867 and 1868, and I can prove all of it with my a cappella expert witness command of 230 years of the Constitution, history, and laws of the United States. And this gets you out from a lot of crap that you've been put through. And best of all, it allows you to teach your children and your posterity so they don't get caught up in all this nonsense either. That's how good this is, what Trump has done with these recent executive orders, and there's no two ways about it. He knows about the original intent of those racist framers and the Republican form of government of defined and limited powers, and that's what we should all want back. And it all goes back to sovereign independent states, of which we don't have any at the moment. You'll learn about that too. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. We got to get back to that state. And then when it goes back there, especially where I am in California, and other states will want to do this too on the local level, particularly with education, where the parents and the PTA can get actively involved here and demand that they teach kids the real history of the United States, especially starting in fifth or sixth grade and up to the time they graduate. And once you have that happen, now, that makes them powerful members of society. They know what their rights are, they know what to do. And if they get on a jury panel, they know they have the right to rule on the facts and the law. The very last thing the Wall Street bankers want them to know. But that's how it works here. And I should say, in passing, yes, indeed, I advocate white supremacist issues. Those are the winning arguments here. For those of you thinking that bullshit civil rights, due process of law, equal protection, only on a very rare occasion they have to make it look good. And George Floyd was an example about that. But think about that. If Floyd would have killed Derek Chauvin, the law enforcement thug, he'd be on death row if not executed for first-degree murder. The agents of our agents, their lives are valuable and ours are not. Think about the magnitude of the issues here. But you'll learn a whole lot more about this too, and it is the way it is. But send me an email, unincourt@gmail.com, and you'll find out that the history of the world teaches, for example, that Asians and Africans are not our political equals. It's just the way it is. I mean, from 1787 to 1920, 140 years, we got to be the most powerful nation in the world, and China been around 4,000 miles, or 4,000 years, I should say, and you tell me where you'd rather be. It's not even close. It wasn't then, it's not now. But it doesn't mean when we get back to our government, the good news about that is that Africans and Chinese and everybody else will have enforceable, creator endowed, inalienable rights. And that takes care of a lot of problems. It really does. So that's how exciting this is. So send me an email, uwinnincourt@gmail.com. I will teach you a lot more about it. It doesn't get any better. I'm going to have some follow-up videos. Look for those to be coming up too. And you're absolutely going to love what's going on now in the White House and with President Trump. So that said, remember to subscribe, like the videos, tell your friends, get the word out. The sooner we start taking the situation in our hands and acting on our creator endowed and alienable rights, the sooner we get this crap to go away. Thank you.